My boyfriend picked up my call by accident and I heard him cheating. He denied it for 2 days and has now confessed. I, 29F, have been with my boyfriend, 32M, for 11 years now. We have grown up together and supported each other through many ups and downs. I've always believed he's the love of my life and will be the person I grow old with, but after last night I'm not so sure anymore. For context, we had an amazing first few years of our relationship but have struggled with intimacy for the past 5 or so years. I'm very comfortable in my sexuality, have a high libido and like to explore and try new things. For the first few years of our relationship, I feel like we were absolutely in sync with each other. However, he has grown distant over the years, rejected my advances multiple times, and nowadays we are intimate with each other only once every few months. He claims this is because he gets stuck in his head and has performance issues, feels anxious about being able to go through with the whole thing, which completely kills the mood for him. I've suggested we start slow, try different things to make him feel safe and even go to sex therapy together. He rejected every attempt to try and solve this. It's become a strain on our relationship and I've started to think he doesn't feel attracted to me anymore, which he continues to deny. Fast forward to last night, he went out for drinks with his colleagues. I texted him asking how he would get home because it was getting late, to which he told me he would catch the train. I sent him a couple of messages after that and he stopped replying at around 12 a.m. At 1:30 a.m. I called him and he declined my call. This was very out of character for him, so I called again and he picked up quite quickly. Immediately I realized this was by accident. He probably picked up the call on his smartwatch. I could only hear muffled talking and what sounded like wind. All of a sudden I hear a female voice and him speaking, clear as day, and my heart sank. She asked if he was feeling okay, to which he responded he felt better now. I thought he was at some woman's house but heard train noises and more muffled sounds. I then heard them kissing and him saying how he finds her so fucking attractive. More kissing sounds and moaning. I started shaking and crying uncontrollably. I didn't want to hear any more of it but couldn't hang up. I completely froze. For the next 10 minutes I heard muffled conversation, more kissing noises and more rustling clothes. I then heard him get off the train and walk through the station. I could hear the steps and the train announcements, and after a minute or so he hung up and texted me, "Hey baby, I'm at the train station." I called him sobbing and said I couldn't believe he just did this to me. That I'd heard everything and recognized his voice. I felt like I couldn't breathe. He denied everything and sounded pretty sober, which made me confused because on the train he sounded a lot more drunk. He eventually got an Uber home from the train station and we talked for an hour. He kept denying everything but I kept hearing them making out over and over again in my head. I just couldn't believe he threw our entire relationship away for a makeout session on the train with some random girl he met at the bar. But still, he denied it and said he was actually dozing off on the train. That he was alone and hadn't done anything. I confronted him with the words he had said, how he was so turned on because of her when he didn't get turned on by me anymore. To which he replied with basically a word vomit on how he hates himself for not being able to give me the intimacy that I need and want. How he feels ashamed that as a man he's not performing. That he loves me and doesn't want anyone else. I'm so confused. I know what I heard but he keeps denying it. I feel broken and can't look at him the same way. But could this all have been another couple sitting near him on the train? But if so, why did it sound exactly like him and why could I hear everything so clearly? I'm scared he's lying to me as he's done that in the past regarding other stuff, but I also feel like if he really cheated and I caught him this way, he would be an idiot to deny it. I'm scared I'm holding on to this relationship because I love him so much and in the meanwhile he gets away with cheating. I don't know what to do. Edit. I've checked my call log and he's the only one I called in the last 24 hours. I've also shown him his own call log with this phone call and he still kept denying it was him. Edit 2. I received the screenshots from his call log and he didn't decline that first call, it got disconnected automatically because he doesn't have a voicemail. He still picked up the second call on his own, so I don't know how relevant this new information is. His phone and smartwatch are a Samsung Galaxy S21 and a Galaxy Watch 2 or 3 I think. We've talked a few times on the phone through the watch and it does tend to pick up surrounding noise. Update. This post went semi-viral yesterday and I got overwhelmed by everyone telling me he cheated whilst I thought he hadn't because he kept gaslighting and love-bombing me. So I felt bad and deleted it. I appreciate everyone who took the time to give me advice. I was just so confused. But he has now confessed everything. He cheated with a work colleague in the train and panicked when he saw that we had a phone call going on. I'm broken. I don't know how to go on with my life. Edit. So he basically gaslighted me for 2 days straight, telling me he didn't do it and came up with a story about how his colleague Rose did walk with him to the train station but got an Uber home. He literally came up with whole conversations they supposedly had when he left her behind. I kept pushing and a couple of hours ago he broke down hysterically crying and confessed everything. Said it didn't mean anything, that it was the most stupid thing he has ever done and that he wants to stay with me. I've never seen him cry like this. I asked him for time and am now having drinks and crying with friends.